Coach, you earned a doubleheader sweep on Lafayette. Your thoughts on the team's performance?
I was happy with the team today. I thought they did a really good job. I thought Allie looked great in game one. And then M obviously started game two and wasn't feeling that great out there. So Avery got to go in and get her first win, which was awesome. But on the offensive end, I was really proud of them. I think just being disciplined and allowing pitches to get into the zone and getting pitches that we can hit hard. I thought we did a good job of generating just walks and making things happen. We took a few balls out of the air today, which I thought was great. So a couple more ground balls, which I love. So I'm big on just getting through the ball and getting on top of the ball. I think for us, if you're going to hit a fly ball, you need to, either hit a gap or hit it over the fence. And I was impressed with some of our shots today. I thought we did a really good job battling at the plate and making things happen. But, it was aggressive and it was offensive minded on offense and defense. And I love that part of it. So I was happy with how we performed.
Right. And speaking of being aggressive, I mean, Caitlin Coker, 6 runs scored. I mean, obviously that's what you want to see from your leadoff batter.
Yeah, I think Kate does a really great job of setting the tone. I think Kate came up there in the end with bases loaded, and we got to find a way to get her to execute with runners on. She's great at starting us off and getting us going. We got to find a way to get her to kind of come through, obviously, in big time moments like that. But yeah, I think Coker's aggressive on the base pass. She's aggressive at the plate. I mean, she's someone that definitely can light a fire. And I think the team responds, when she gets on base and there's always a big energy coming from that. So I was happy with the way she played today. And I thought the people behind her did a really great job of allowing her to move and then scoring her.
And both AJ and Nicole, they drove in a lot of RBIs today. I mean, how'd you like their placement in the lineup and their performance?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been kind of mixing things around, and I, made a comment to Nicole before the game. I'm like, hey, if I move you up, is that going to change anything? I think she kind of gave me a like, why do you always say stuff like that? No. But I'm happy with the way Nick is swinging the bat, and I really do think that like AJ, kind of flipped a switch in Holy Cross. I think that she did a really great job last weekend, and then obviously that's translated this week and into this weekend. So we need people to be able to execute with runners on. And those are two very important people who are swinging really good bats right now. So, I think for us, when you look up and down our lineup, you need people that can start us off or get on, and then you need people that can drive us home. And I feel like the RBI opportunities, there's a few people that stand in there and I believe that they have a shot, that they want to get it done, and there's a couple others that I feel like, don't necessarily take what they need to in that moment. And they swing at balls or they swing out of the zone. So, we had more discipline at bats. And I think the two of them were very controlled and poised at the plate today. So, the outcome was great.
And then also, what'd you think of Ali Dubois pitching 8 strikeouts, no walks in the first game?
I love it. I think that's great. Yeah, the walks. I thought Allie looked really sharp today. Her ball was moving. I thought her curveball looked awesome. It's interesting. I feel like Lafayette does a really great job mid-range to up in the zone in a sense of, or sorry, low in the zone. So I thought we were going to go mid to up in the zone to get some swings and misses. And I thought that she executed that plan brilliantly. We obviously still got ahead with her drop, but she was able to get people on her curve and her rise and her curve up. And so I was happy. She came up to me after the first game and she was like, I feel really good, trying to hint at like, okay, give me game two here. But I was happy for her. I thought that she looked awesome today, and it was great. It was obviously great to get, Avery and Emily some innings. And then obviously Allie B came in to close it out.
Right. And then speaking of the rest of the roster, I mean, talking about the senior day, I mean, Kip Miller had an RBI in both games. If you can just talk about the whole senior class.
Yeah, I mean, I think for them, it's interesting because it's different. Everything is different. Everything about this whole entire year. So it was definitely unique today, but I thought the messages from the parents on the video board was incredibly special. And I think that I think that was something that they're always going to kind of remember. So it was a moment for them just to have, and it's tough not to have our friends, our family, our fans here, but at the end of the day, it's about them and them getting the opportunity to play. So I think they're just excited to be on the field. But yeah, this has been a really, really important class. You think about what Allie's done, you think about what Jen's done, what Marina's done, then the addition of Patty, a year ago. I think Patty had a really great start last year, and unfortunately the year came to an end. And then Maya's been someone that, from the get-go has always had some at-bats, and she's had some big time RBIs. So I was excited that they all had the opportunity today to have some moments. And, that's at the end of it, that's what it's about. I hope when they look back, they can remember those, those moments and those memories that they were able to create and have. And, but it's a special class. And I hope that we get to, see them play a lot more games.
Well, and speaking of more games, I mean, you've clinched a third straight regular season title. It's happened twice in program history before. I mean, what does it mean to continue that trend to win a third straight regular season title?
Yeah, I think for us, it's every year we're trying to up the standard. And I think for us, we have really high expectations and the team has expectations. And, I think when we came in and I took over this program, the goal was to get it back to where it was. And my mindset goes back to the Rycheck days where I had to play against him. I knew what those BU teams look like. You had Cassidy Hardy. We were facing great players day in and day out. And, I loved what BU was able to do. And I think for me, that tradition, it started a long time ago, whenever our first program was it 1988? Is that when this whole thing started? There's been just some incredible players and incredible teams. And I think for us, like, we wanted that tradition to continue. And this is built off alumni. And we're just grateful that, we've been able to do as well as we have the past couple of years. But, we're trying to honor those who came before us. And, that's something that's really important to us. But these kids know what it takes to win. And, I got to tell you, when I was sitting back at the start of this year, one, I didn't even know if we'd be playing. Two, when we decided we could play, we didn't know what it was going to look like or if we were going to stay healthy. So the fact that they get to walk away with a regular season championship, I mean, it's a testament to them and their sacrifice and their discipline this year. They've been living in a softball bubble in order to play. So you know what? I mean, of course, I hope we win the whole thing, but this is a really great moment for them, at least now.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I mean, talk about the record. I mean, to be 30-2 with everything that's gone on, and now dealing with finals. I mean, how impressive is that for a team to be almost that perfect with everything else going on?
And I think that's a part of it. Like, if you're in college athletics right now, I think you'll understand the sacrifice these kids have had to make. And, they're in their rooms almost 24/7 because they can't hang out with anyone. They can't go out. They can't go out to eat. And they have their classes remote, so getting out in the field and having softball, that has almost been their escape. So every single day, whether it's practice or a game, there's true joy in that because that's their time that they're actually like, oh, I get to be out here. I get to interact. I get to do what I love. But yeah, I think sometimes, I'm never satisfied and I'm always pushing them to get to a better spot, but I feel like, I think today on the way home, I saw the image that said regular season champs. And I think I took a moment to be like, damn, that's pretty impressive. You know what I mean? To think about where they've come, but it's probably the best group of kids I could ever coach. And I genuinely mean that. They're just like top to bottom, really great kids who just love playing the game. And, I couldn't ask for a better group. And, I hope that it gets to continue a lot longer, but yeah, it's an impressive feat. So, winning softball games isn't easy, and they've done it 30 times. So it's pretty great.
Right. Well, you have two more tomorrow. I mean, what do you want to see from the team tomorrow? Because I mean, obviously, one of the things is you win both games in one rule fashion. I'm sure you don't want to see any complacency from the team tomorrow.
Scotty, it's like you were in our post-game huddle. I think that's a part of it. I think they recognized early on, we came out against Lehigh. It was 16-0. You flip it less than 20 minutes later, we're playing another game. It's 1-0. And I think that's a part of it where it's games every single day. You have no idea who's going to show up, what that's going to look like. So we need to approach every team with the utmost respect and understanding that we can get beat on any single day. So I hope I see the same offensive discipline, same execution with the pitching, and then obviously great defense. So there were things today that I felt like we need to get better on, as always, so I think for us, just it's a good start, and I hope they can finish it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Coach, and congrats on the wins today.
Thanks, Scotty.